You are tuning into
Previously on episode 4.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Enderun Unmuted by Hater Titans of Ink Enderun. And that's why for this episode, we invited senior high school advisors of Enderun colleges.
As adults, we had to make sure that, we do not bring our crisis whenever we face our...
Now, back to the main show.
Knowing that this setup is really, really difficult and challenging for both parties, what are some lessons you teachers have learned from, this student-teacher interaction in the setup?
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the diversity that we have to respect. I used to ask myself back when there was still face-to-face class. I used to ask myself, why are there students who would not listen in class? Why are there students who would not, ask questions? Why would there be students who would go to the faculty and ask questions personally? I usually ask those questions to myself. And this pandemic opened my view about that, because right now I am I am an overthinker, as I mentioned earlier. I am an overthinker. So right now I have to always ask myself, and I think it's not a bad thing, but I have to work on it, because right now when there are students who would be absent, or where there are students, let's say, who used to be, let's say, noisy or whatsoever, who's very vocal, and then they just, become silent out of nowhere. I used to ask myself what the problem is, and that triggers my thinking issues. And but I think it's also a good thing, because I can build a relationship with you guys, and I want you to be open to me as well, and I want you to see me as not only a teacher, but I don't want to call myself a mother yet, because I feel like I'm not so apt with that role yet. But I wanted to be like a sister you can share your secrets with, or even not secrets, but even your issues whatsoever.
It's nice to hear your thoughts, Miss Shane. What about Miss Lady? I would like to know her lessons from student-teacher interaction in the setup.
For me, the things that I have learned in this setup is to be to extend extra empathy whenever I can to the students and even to the teachers, especially to the teachers. Not being biased, but well, to be extra empathetic, because we are all in the same storm. Okay, we are all experiencing this pandemic, although I know we are in different locations. Some places are doing better now, but we are all in this crazy scenario, and I feel like we all have to extend our empathy to each other. Okay, like it's as simple as maybe like what Miss Shane does. So she extends the deadlines whenever she can, right? And
Yes,
so those things, even those things, and even like, for example, so sometimes even the little comments that I get for the lessons, like for example, whenever they tell me, Miss, I appreciate this video. This clarifies things for me. So even those things, those little things, yeah, just extend kindness. So I think that's the biggest lesson that I have learned in this setup. And I feel like most of us are already kind of being more empathetic to other people, even the students. Like, I know the students already understand how hard it is for the teachers as well, and so they try to do what they can. I know you guys try to do what you can to kind of maybe lift up some of the burden. Like for example, maybe you just ask questions at this time, or sometimes when you ask questions, like some students will tell me, it's okay, miss, if you can't answer right away, so I know you're probably busy. So those things, yeah, I think that's the biggest lesson that I took away from this whole online learning setup.
Miss, we really appreciate you guys like understanding your students as much as you can, even though you guys yourself are tired, like just to give our viewers context, literally there would be times where, for example, Miss Lady's our first, when we used to have homeroom, Miss Lady was our first class in the morning, and she'd literally be so energetic. Like
Yeah,
our
so
cams would be
true.
off, and she would just ramble on and on. And then there are times where for English, Miss Shane would be our last class sometimes. And even though like it's already the end of the day and everyone's like really tired and drained, you know, they always find a way to just keep the class lively, And we on behalf of not just like us, but the grade 12 and the whole senior high miss, we were really thankful for that. Okay, so moving on to the next question. This next question is for two of the most patient senior high teachers. I know this firsthand because I ask a lot of questions, but would you guys care to share with us your coping mechanisms given the lockdown and all? Because like Miss Shane, like I recently read an article, an interview you did for Inc. And one of the things you really talked about there was your coping mechanisms during this pandemic. And what do you call this? I found that really relatable. So yeah, maybe we can start with you, Miss, and then proceed with Miss Lady.
Yes, I
My
want to
coping
hear her
mechanism.
coping mechanisms as well. I want to learn.
You need to test it as well. Okay. My coping mechanism right now is my dog. Okay, it's Shopper. I don't have him here right now because he's with my dad. But he's my coping mechanism. Whenever my dad would send me pictures of him, because I don't live at home right now. I mean, I'm in a like boarding house, a dorm, whatsoever. So when my dad sends a picture of him, like when he's eating or whatever, like when they're outside, um, it's my one way of distressing myself, because whenever I feel like I'm gonna have like a really bad, terrible, or a terrible headache, I would just, go back to the pictures and I would just smile instantly. Specifically when there are times wherein students would ask so many questions and I don't know how to answer everything at once. I'll just look at the pictures and I'll just smile instantly. But aside from, my dog Chopper, um, I think you guys would agree to me. It's samgyeopsal, with the tone. Okay, the samgyeopsal. It's eating. It's my also one way of distressing myself, because whenever I really find myself, so stressed with checking papers and whatever it is, just a very stress stressful weekend or stressful weekday, I should say. Eating outside is a way for me to de-stress myself and make sure that by Monday I'm ready and I can face you all guys with this poker face.
That's our favorite bonding. Like whenever Miss Shane and I meet, no questions asked. We
We don't have
will,
to ask anymore, but where
yeah,
should we eat? We
yes.
don't ask that anymore. After this, samgyeopsal, G.
Girl, if I'm near you, yes, G. But yeah, like whenever we meet, yes, it's always so it's not even asking where to eat. It's like, girl, do you want to girl, I know this place. We're near this. Okay, let's go. Something like that.
Are you hungry?
Like that. Okay, so taking from there, for my coping mechanisms this pandemic or in this whole setup, I feel like I don't know if this will be applicable to you guys, but I limited my time in social media. Like, or actually not limited my time in social media. I still spend a lot of time in social media, but I limited my social media interactions. Like I removed my Facebook account because I feel like I can scroll there forever. So I removed my Facebook account. So I only like maintain like my Instagram and my Twitter account. Okay. Because I feel like because I'm always facing my laptop. I'm always talking to students, and it gets tiring for me to have all of these digital interactions that I feel like I can kind of cut back in my social media consumption. So I try to be more mindful with what I see in social media. So I try to choose, or I try to select. I try to be more picky with those interactions because I already do a lot of digital interactions. I want the other times to be more meaningful for me, I guess, or just to limit those things. So I guess that's like one of my biggest coping mechanism for this online setup, to try to limit my social media intake, and in turn to try to limit my um what's that, like phone phone
Usage.
time
Screen
something.
time.
Yes.
Screen time.
Screen time.
Screen time, yes. Screen time.
I feel like I need to use that coping mechanism as well. Because right now, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know. I cannot classify myself if I'm a boomer, but I just downloaded TikTok and I can stay up until 4 a.m. just
Miss, the
scrolling
amount of
and
time you lose
playing.
on TikTok just scrolling on your For You
Yes,
page.
and if
I
you
No one
know.
who doesn't have
You
TikTok.
never.
Yeah.
I do
And
not
I
have
Okay, I'm
TikTok.
not.
I cannot relate.
You wouldn't
That
even
was
notice.
actually my
Like,
research topic, like how social media has affected like us during this pandemic and all.
I
So
don't even have
I
TikTok.
guess
I cannot wonder. I mean, I don't even have to wonder why I have terrible headaches almost every day. I think it's because of that. The
We'll go
TikTok, the
to
Google
sleep.
Meet.
actually I just want to comment, like going back to what Miss Shane said about her dog. Okay, I just want to say how sad I feel because like since I was small, I'm not really allowed to have pets at home. Like the only pet I've had is just a goldfish, which didn't really last long. And like I get so jealous whenever I see like people posting about their pets. Like I really see it like, a way to really decompress, and like especially now that Miss Shane verbalized it.
Yes.
I just
But
feels
Not really a
I get
dog
off.
person. If you would,
I know
if
I know
I would
my
like comment on that.
I know my two other co-hosts can't relate because you guys both have pets, right?
Yeah, I have cat, and I can really agree to Miss Shay that having pets keep you sane. Cause like just looking at my
Yes,
own cat
exactly.
and taking cute pictures of her, it stresses me a
Mhm.
lot. Like I can
My
Yes.
phone
really agree to
memory,
that.
Agreed.
not really the phone memory, but my gallery, if you would just see it right now, it's almost everything is Chopper. Everything is my dog.
Pets are pets are a godsend this
Mhm,
pandemic.
True,
I
most
I
definitely.
I would just like to
Amen.
cement that. To
Yeah,
cement
just
that fact.
even
They're
just
a
a simple,
godsend.
simple like action. When you just see them steeping, you find it so cute. I don't know why.
Yes, miss, so true. I want to
And I
screenshot.
want
Okay,
to
what's
bite,
that?
I want to bite the cheeks.
Me
It's
who
gonna be
can't
a
relate.
we need a segment just for the pets. A pet
Pets.
segment. And
Pets
all we're gonna do is talk
episode.
about our pets. And then we're gonna kick Rafa out. No, I'm kidding, Rafa.
Oh my god.
Uh,
I know I've been repeating this for like a lot of time, but what is like one thing do you miss about face-to-face classes? Because like for me, it's actually sharing lunch with my friends. Like you guys eat together in one table and then you share your ulam. What do you call ulam in English? Wait,
Bayan. Bayan.
yeah, that one. And then you guys share together your ulam together in one table. What is one thing do you guys miss about face-to-face classes?
Not gonna lie, it's the interaction. Basically, just any kind of interaction, I would say. I'm not gonna lie on that part because again, like what I told you earlier, I used to hate those students who would come in the faculty room. Like when I'm eating, somebody would call me, or when I'm just resting, somebody would call me. Those are the things that I miss actually right now. Just pinching their tummies because I'm so used with that one. I find it so cute whenever you would know that it's me if I pinch your tummies or if I pinch your cheeks. You know it's me. So I just miss those kind of small interactions with them because I feel like those are also what keep me sane. Aside from my dog, basically I didn't have dog before. It's what keep me sane. Seeing you guys, sharing jokes with you guys. Those are what keeps me sane.
I don't want to repeat what Miss Shane said because that's also what I miss the most. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the second thing that I miss the most in this for in face-to-face classes. And you might think this is weird, but I really miss dressing up for class. Like
So true.
I'm one of those people and I I'm one of those people who are like more extra when it comes to what they wear. And I get like comments from like before from when I was teaching. And they would like tell me like, "Miss, I always look forward to your outfits next meeting." So yeah, so
I
aside
can
from the
relate because we
actual
have uniforms.
oh my god. So yeah, I think the other than the interactions, because I mean, let's face it, everybody misses those actual human face-to-face interactions.
Mhm.
But yeah. So you might think I'm weird, but I really do miss dressing up for work and for meeting people basically. So yeah. I'm
No,
so sorry if that was like anticlimactic to everything. But
Miss, I think all the students also feel the same way, Miss, that we didn't get
But
to experience like the
the
blazers and
uniform.
the
Yeah.
uniform
The
effect.
I
uniform.
wanted to feel cool. The uniform, I heard that they feel powerful in it, like especially when they go out and they're wearing something like super corporate business attire. I
Right.
wanted to feel that. I was so excited because I really thought online classes would be like 2 months, 6 months in. After that, we'll go back, and then yeah, I just that dream like just started drifting away. Like the moment they announced, oh yeah, you're gonna have face-to-face classes for grade 12, and I'm just like smile and
And
nod.
come to think of it, on the very first day or the very first, I would say, week, the March 2020 lockdown was announced, I was assuming that it's gonna be like a 1 week thing or a 1 month thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even presume that it's gonna be 2 years.
I think we all did this. Like literally, me and my classmates would look back and we just be like we would all just be celebrating on that day they announced no classes for a week, and then looking at it now, Miss. Like for me personally, I want to say I miss doing sports the most when it was still face to face, since I was really active prior to the pandemic. But funny thing was I was banned from doing sports even before COVID because of my injury. So basically, I guess what I miss the most, which is the same as you guys, which is the face-to-face interaction usually with my teachers and my peers. What about you, Reese? What did you still haven't shared yet? What you miss the most face to
Okay.
face?
So other than like waking up, I mean, like I know you're gonna like people are gonna cancel me for this. A part of me wishes like Mrs. waking up at 5 a.m. to get dressed and then to prepare my food because again, it was just me and my sister and my cousin back then, and we would greet each other downstairs and we would pack our lunch, and then for me, because we had uniforms. When I also dressed extra like this, but because we had uniforms, what I did is I have different sweaters on every day and I do my hair differently. It's either I have it down, I have it braided, or I wear these different earrings. And some I I really love doing that. It made it really fun. Unfortunately, I don't dress up as much anymore. Like I feel like people can tell. Like the moment I wake up, I go to class. I don't even bother doing anything else other than getting food. Like my priority instead of dressing up has become get the food. All right, Reese, open the fridge, get the food. All right, let's go to class and eat. um,
I can relate to that dressing up during face to face too. But what I don't agree with is the waking up at 5 a.m. That is one
yeah,
thing I
same
really
here.
don't
Because like
miss.
no,
I wake up 10 minutes
That's
or
one thing
20
I
minutes
don't miss.
before class.
no, I had to
Wake up
leave
3 minutes
school.
before my class. So you guys are weak.
Because
Uh,
like my old school it wasn't even far away. It was just really, really traffic. So we'd have to leave. It's not even like we have to leave on the dot 6 a.m. because anytime beyond that, the traffic would get so bad and we would be late. So it was either be late or be extra early. And of course, I had to pick the former because I'm a good student. um, so moving on, as much as I'd hate to say it, that marks the end of our main talk. It was really nice getting to know our teachers behind the camera and outside the classroom. Although I know that all three of us here, no cap, we talk to our teachers a lot, ask tons of questions, and if there is one thing we would like to leave you guys with before we go is that as they've mentioned it, we should understand diversity that we have not only in the online setup but in general, because everyone essentially is in the same boat. Some albeit are going through more difficult tides during these trying times, and the little things matter the most in the setup. And yes, that includes asking questions preferably before 8 p.m. as requested.
I'm so sorry.
And not on Sundays. Sunday is a
See,
rest day, please.
I try my best not to ask on Sundays. I swear on it. I'm trying to. I
Same
really
here.
try.
Sometimes
Monday,
he
Monday.
takes the note as well.
sometimes the questions just suddenly pop up and you're like, wait a minute, why didn't I ask this before?
But yes, it was nice having you on Enderun Unmuted's episode 4.5. With that,
Unfortunately, we have to rope. Guys, I'm going
It's
crazy,
hungry.
as you guys can tell. The online setup, guys, has been like taking a toll on me, as you guys can tell. Sorry to the viewers. As I mentioned, that's a wrap for today's episode. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to our lovely advisors of the grade 12 students, and we will be closing today's episode with that. So as always, don't forget to follow us on social media at Enderun.Unmuted and at Enderun on Instagram and on Facebook.
If there's anything you want us to talk about, feel free to reach out by sending us a message.
unfortunately, this is the time we will be muting, but don't forget to tune in with us every time we unmute. Fridays at 5 o'clock p.m. And once again, this is Enderun Unmuted. See you next episode. Bye.
Yeah.